You're at the doctor's office. Routine visit. She asks you to squeeze a small device, a dynamometer. You grip it, release, and she writes something down. Seems unremarkable. But here's what that simple squeeze might actually reveal: how long you're likely to live. And it has nothing to do with your heart rate or how many steps you walk today. In February 2026, researchers published a study that quietly appended decades of fitness advice. It followed over 5,400 women for nearly a decade, and what they found was stunning. The women with the strongest grip had a 33% lower risk of dying from any cause. Not because they ran marathons or hit step goals. Because of muscle strength. For decades we've been told cardio is king, get your heart rate up, walk 10,000 steps, hit your zones. Strength training, that was extra credit. Optional. But this research suggests we may have had it backwards, especially for women over 60. And the implications are, well, let's just say they're worth paying attention to. The study was published in JAMA Network Open, one of the most respected medical journals in the world. The research team was led by scientists at the University at Buffalo. They tracked 5,472 women between the ages of 63 and 99. For an average of 8.4 years, they monitored everything: physical activity, walking speed, inflammation markers, and strength. They measured grip strength with a dynamometer, and they timed how fast women could stand up from a chair 5 times without using their arms. Simple tests. Profound results. Women with grip strength above 24 kilograms, that's about 53 pounds, had 33% lower mortality than those with the weakest grip, under 14 kilograms. And it wasn't just grip. Women who completed the chair stand test in under 11 seconds had a 31% lower mortality risk. 11 seconds. That's all it took. Here's what makes this study different from so many others. They didn't just measure whether women exercised. They measured how much they actually moved, using accelerometers worn on the body. So when they say strength predicted longevity independently of physical activity, they mean it. This wasn't about being more active overall. It was about being stronger. Think about what that means. For years, the standard advice for aging well has centered on cardio, walking, swimming, getting that heart rate up. All good things, absolutely. But strength training, for many women over 60, it's been an afterthought, something for athletes, something you do if you have time after the real exercise. This study challenges that hierarchy. Muscle strength carried its own independent survival advantage, even among women who weren't hitting their aerobic exercise targets. The study controlled for walking speed, it controlled for body weight, it even controlled for systemic inflammation. And strength still predicted who would live longer. For every 7 kilograms of additional grip strength, researchers found a 12% lower mortality rate on average. 7 kilograms. That's about 15 pounds of squeeze. Now, why would grip strength of all things tell us something so profound about longevity? It seems almost too simple. Squeeze harder, live longer. Not quite. Grip strength is what researchers call a biomarker. It's an indicator of something larger, your overall muscular health and functional capacity. When your grip is weak, it often means your whole body strength is declining, and that decline touches everything: your balance, your mobility, your ability to recover from illness. Muscle mass naturally declines 3 to 8% per decade after age 30. That's just biology. But after 60, that decline accelerates significantly. It's called sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle tissue, and for a long time we accepted it as inevitable, part of getting older, something you just live with. But here's what the research is telling us. Muscle loss may be common, but it's not unstoppable. And preserving strength may be more critical to survival than we understood. The chair stand test is a perfect example. It seems simple. Stand up from a chair 5 times without using your arms. But it tests leg strength, balance, and coordination all at once. The women who could do it in under 11 seconds weren't just fit, they were demonstrably more likely to be alive nearly a decade later. A 31% mortality difference. I want to be clear about something important here. This study shows correlation, not causation. we can't say with certainty that building strength will add years to your life. It's possible that stronger people are healthier for other reasons, genetics, lifestyle factors we can't fully measure. The researchers themselves acknowledge this limitation. But, and this is important, the study did control for physical activity levels, meaning strength appeared to provide benefits beyond simply being someone who exercises regularly. According to Harvard Health, roughly 60 minutes of resistance exercise per week appears to deliver optimal mortality benefits. That's about 8 to 9 minutes a day. A separate Harvard study found that people with the most varied exercise routines had 19% lower risk of premature death. Not just strength, not just cardio. Variety itself mattered. So what does this mean for you? If you're over 60 or approaching it, this research suggests you might want to pay more attention to strength than you have been. Not instead of cardio. In addition to it, the evidence suggests both matter, but strength may deserve a promotion from afterthought to priority. Here's something you can try right now. The chair stand test. Find a sturdy chair. Without using your arms, stand up and sit down 5 times as fast as you safely can. If you can do it in under 11 seconds, that's associated with better outcomes in the research. If it takes longer, that's not a failure, it's information, and it can change. A separate 47-year Swedish study found that starting exercise later in life can still improve physical capacity by up to 10%. It's never too late to begin. You might also consider testing your grip strength. Inexpensive dynamometers are available online for home use. For women over 60, the research suggests above 24 kilograms is the target. Now, before you start any new exercise routine, please consult your doctor, especially if you have existing health conditions. Everyone's body responds differently. What works in a controlled study may need adjusting for your specific situation. That's a conversation between you and your healthcare provider. Not something you should do alone. Resistance training doesn't have to mean heavy weights at a gym. Bodyweight exercises count. Resistance bands count. Yoga and Pilates build strength. Water aerobics provides resistance. The key seems to be consistency and progression. Start where you are. Challenge your muscles regularly, and gradually increase what you ask them to do. The researchers who conducted this study emphasized one thing above all. Strength predicted longevity even among women who didn't meet aerobic exercise guidelines. That's remarkable. It means that even if you struggle with cardio, maybe you have joint issues, maybe walking long distances is hard, building strength still appears to help. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about maintaining or rebuilding the functional strength you need for daily life. Opening jars, carrying groceries, getting up from the floor. The activities you don't think about until they become difficult. That's what functional strength protects, and that's what this research suggests may extend your years. The study followed women from 2012 through 2023, over a decade of data, and it was specifically designed to look at older women, a population often underrepresented in fitness research. That matters, because for too long, health recommendations have been based primarily on studies of men. Women's bodies respond differently. This research centers their experience. If you found this information useful, consider subscribing. We explore health research like this every week, stories that might actually change how you approach your well-being. One approach many experts recommend: aim for about 60 minutes of resistance exercise per week. That breaks down to roughly 2 or 3 sessions of 20 to 30 minutes each. You don't need expensive equipment. A set of resistance bands, some water bottles as light weights, even just your own body. That's enough to begin building strength. Start small. Many physical therapists suggest beginning with movements you can do comfortably, then gradually increasing difficulty, progression over perfection. The chair stand test and grip strength measurement aren't just research tools. They're self-assessments you can repeat over time to track your own progress. Every few months, you might consider testing yourself again. See if your numbers are improving. It may help to keep track. Not to obsess, but to stay informed. As the study authors noted, greater muscular strength was associated with lower mortality even when controlling for physical activity, walking speed, and systemic inflammation. That's three major confounding factors accounted for, and strength still mattered. That's why this research has gotten so much attention from the medical community. It suggests a shift in how we might think about fitness after midlife, not abandoning cardio, but elevating strength to equal priority, maybe even higher. If you've been focused primarily on walking or swimming, this research might encourage you to add some resistance work, even light dumbbells, even wall push-ups, something that challenges your muscles. The research also reminds us that our bodies are remarkably adaptable. Even in our 70s, 80s, and beyond, muscle responds to progressive challenge. It can grow stronger. Remember that Swedish study, starting exercise later in life still improved physical capacity by up to 10%. Our bodies want to adapt. We just have to give them the signal. So the next time you're at the doctor and they hand you that dynamometer, or the next time you lower yourself into a chair, think about what that simple act might be telling you. Your grip strength isn't just about opening jars. According to this research, it may be a window into something much more profound, your potential years ahead. The science is still evolving. There's more to learn. But the pattern the research points to seems clear enough. Strength isn't optional. It might be essential. So squeeze a little harder, stand a little taller, and give your muscles something to do. They might just thank you with more years to use them. Thanks for spending this time with us. Until next week, take care of that body of yours. It's the only one you've got.